Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Friday live class. Today we will be working on back bends. There are so many different types of back bends, and today we will be visiting some back bends that are for beginners all the way through advanced. I have my little dog Curry here today. He's not feeling so well. He had a tooth pulled yesterday, so he's still a little sluggish from all the medication. So, and it's been pretty funny. He's been wobbling around. Anyway, so today we'll be visiting back bends. We're going to start with some sun salutations because it's very important to warm up the body when we start our sun salutations. The sun salutations help to create the breath that you'll keep throughout your practice. The sun salutations help to open the hips, warm up the spine, and generally warm up all the muscles of the body so that we can move with ease through the postures. Now, these postures, these back bends, can be pretty challenging. So when you're learning back bends, if you have a stiff back, I suggest that you don't push it too hard, that you just try your best to do the back bends, but practice them regularly. So we spend so much of our time just sitting in a desk, driving in a car, walking around. Maybe you're a runner, maybe you're a cyclist, maybe you're even a swimmer. So a lot of that repetitive motion doesn't allow the spine to bend backwards. Now, we don't all need to be gymnasts. We can all just have a little bit more flexibility in our spine. So where does the flexibility from the spine happen? Well, you think it happens all in the spine, but it's really not. The spine is really bending just a little bit, and it's in these big joints in the hips and the shoulders where the back bend really occurs. So the spine is bending just slightly, but the arms and the hips are getting more flexibility. For example, when we do some poses on our knees, notice that when we sit for long periods of time, our hip muscles, the strength in our hip muscles are meant to move this way and this way. Rarely do we stretch the hips to push the hips forward. And notice how the back bend is coming from the hips and it's going to come from the arms here. If you have a wall nearby and you're new at back bends, get to a wall or make sure you have it nearby. If not, you can do it later on your own, and I'll show you some modifications so that you can use the wall for your back bends. So if you're ready, let's get started. Come to standing at the front of your mat. We'll start with 3 Surya Namaskara A's, and then we'll work into some crescent lunges. Then we'll do some back bends on our belly. We'll do some back bends on our knees. And then we'll finally do some back bends on our back. And if you want to stay to the end, we'll be working on some drop backs. And drop backs are doing back bends from a standing position to going all the way back to the floor. So let's come to the front of our mat, feet together, arms down by the sides, roll the shoulders down the back, inhale and exhale through the nose. Remember, in our yoga practice, this is called deep breathing with sound, and we breathe in and out through the nose. As we inhale, we fill the lungs completely, and as we exhale, we breathe all of the air out from the lungs like we're fogging a mirror with our nose. Take an inhale through the nose, reach your arms up, press your palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhaling, fold forward, bring your hands to the floor, bowing your head to your knees. Inhaling, look forward, plant your hands flat, step back to plank, and exhale, lower down to chaturanga, drop your knees if you need to. Now we're going to move into our first back bend. We're going to start with cobra. Bring your thumbs directly underneath your rib cage and squeeze your elbows together. Bring your legs together so that your feet are touching, and lift up as high as you can, squeezing the shoulders back. Don't put too much pressure in the hands. We want to use the muscles of the back to lift. So inhale, look up. Good. Exhale, go down. 2 more times. Inhale, look up. Exhale, go down. 1 more time. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Let's take Downward facing dog. So come to the knees, spread your feet about hip width, spread your fingertips wide, and tuck your chin to your chest. Our first back bend warm up. And remember, when we do back bends, we also have to counterbalance with a forward bend. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. As you finish that third exhale, step your feet up between your hands. Inhale, look forward as you reach to the earth. Exhale, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to a standing position. Press your palms together, look at your thumbs, and exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Now we're gonna do sun salutation with upward facing dog, a deeper version of cobra. We'll take a break and we'll work on it together. Inhaling, hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhaling, fold forward, bring your hands to the floor, bow your head to your knees. Inhaling, look forward, step it back to plank, and exhale, bend your elbows in towards your body, lower down. Now you can come all the way to your belly because we're gonna set up for that upward facing dog. Point your toes. In this one, your feet are about hip width apart. Again, hands come underneath the rib cage, thumbs underneath the ribs, squeeze your elbows. Now, as you straighten your arms, you're pulling yourself forward. So you notice that you're coming to the tops of your feet. Arch your back, look up, hold for 3. Breathing for 1. If you're strong, lift your legs, coming onto your toenails. Breathing for 2. Keep looking up, squeeze those shoulder blades. And 3, flip your feet, press it back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Good. As you finish that third exhale, look forward, step your feet between your hands. Inhale, look forward as you reach to the earth. Exhale, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to a standing position. Press your palms together. Now take a slight back bend as you look to your thumbs. And exhale, arms to the sides. Now we're going to work on the transition from chaturanga into upward facing dog. Inhale, hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, look forward, stepping back to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Notice I'm hovering. Inhale, pull yourself forward. Come to the tops of your feet, look up. Legs are up off the ground. Exhale, flip your feet and press it back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. As you finish that third exhale, look forward, stepping the feet between the hands. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach up, palms together, look at your thumbs, and exhale back to Samastitihi. Good. Now we're going to do some crescent lunges in our sun salutations to open up the front side of the hips. We really want to get a nice stretch in here so that it helps the hips move a little bit more forward to get a better back bend and doesn't put too much pressure on the middle of the spine, just lower of the ribs and just above that lower hip or your sacrum area. Inhale, reach the hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, look forward, step your left foot back to the far back of your mat, wiggle your right foot forward and come to a deep lunge. Then drop your left knee. Inhale, come all the way up, palms together. And arch your back as much as you can, bending into that front knee. Really feel that stretch in the front side of the left hip. Hold for 3 breaths. Remember, this is a back bend. You're looking to your thumbs, but you're reaching to the back of the room. Breathing for 2. And 3. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Inhale, bring the right leg back to plank. Exhale, lower down to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, take your left leg up. Exhale, step that left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, bring the hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Wiggle your left foot forward, bend into that left knee, arch the back, reach back, look to your thumbs. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step your right foot forward so your feet are together. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhaling, head to the knees. Inhaling, stand all the way up. Palms together, look at your thumbs. And exhale, arms to the sides. Good, let's do it again. And we're going to start on the other side. Inhaling, hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Exhaling, fold forward, hands to the floor, head to the knees. Inhaling, look forward, stepping the right foot back really far, runner's lunge. Now we're going to keep the knee up this time. You can drop it if you'd like. Inhaling, hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Strong back leg, pressing out through the back heel, reaching up over your head and back. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. And 3. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward. And inhale, come up into that runner's lunge. Holding here. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step it forward. Look forward. Exhale, bow your head to your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to a standing position. And exhale, bring your arms down by your sides. Good. Spread your feet about hip width apart. Now from here, we're just going to work some basic standing back bends to prepare us for the stuff that we're going to be doing on our knees. So let's interlace the fingers and send the palms out. Inhale, reach up. Now, if you're too afraid to do this, you're always welcome to come to a wall and reach back and then try to touch the wall to give you a little bit more support. If not, you're just going to reach up, hips as far forward as you can. Take those hips forward of your toes. Reach up and reach back as far as you can. 3 breaths. Look at your hands. 1, feel how much strength it takes to hold your body here. Breathing for 2, use that core. And 3, inhale, come to center. Exhale, slowly fold forward. Remember, I told you forward bends are really important to counterbalance all those back bends. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And bend your knees. Roll slowly back up to a standing position. Good, we're going to do that one more time. This time I want you to take your feet wider. Your feet should almost be to the outer edges of your mat. And make sure that your feet are not in a V. They're turned in ever so slightly, almost pigeon-toed. Lift your kneecaps, engage your quadriceps. So squeeze those knees. Nice strong legs. You need a nice strong base. This is preparing us for drop backs, which we will be doing at the end of class. Push those hips forward. Squeeze your butt. Reach up. Now imagine someone's pulling a string from your heart to the sky. Lift the chest. Reaching back, interlace your fingers, press those palms up. 3 more breaths. Look at your hands. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Inhale to center. Exhale, slow forward fold all the way down. Gently shake your head yes. Gently shake your head no. Soften your knees and slowly roll yourself up. Remember that rounding of the back always feels good after some back bends. And let's roll those shoulders back. Good job, everybody. All right, let's do some back bends on our knees. So we're going to take a sun salutation down to the floor. Feet together, inhaling, hands up, palms together, look at your thumbs. Again, a slight back bend. Exhaling, folding forward, bringing your hands down to your mat, head to the knees. Inhaling, look forward, step it back to plank. Exhaling, lower down to chaturanga. Inhaling to upward facing dog. Exhaling to downward facing dog. And then just drop to your knees. So we're going to do a few poses on the knees, and then we're going to rest in pose of the child to give ourselves a break. So as you come onto the knees, there's lots of back bends you can do on the knees. Sometimes to get a deeper back bend, I also go to the wall. So if you're going to go to the wall, you should be about your toes should be about 6 inches away from the wall. Okay? That way you're not going to slam your face into the wall, but it also gives you some space. So let's spread the feet about hip width apart. Bring your hands to your lower back. You can do this against the wall if you want, those toes about 6 inches away. Push your hips forward, lift your chest. Push your hips forward, lift your chin. Push your hips forward, lift your chest. Push your hips forward, head back. Keeping the hands on the lower back, squeeze your butt and look to the wall behind you for 3 breaths. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Inhale, come forward. Good. Okay, so that is option 1. Option 2 is a little bit deeper of a version. You can reach back for your heels if you want. If not, then just keep your hands on your lower back. Squeeze your butt, strong quadriceps, trying to push those hips forward like your thighs are glued to a wall. We're lifting the chest. So we don't want to just collapse into the lower back. We want to imagine someone is pulling a string from our heart to the sky. Good. Hands on the lower back or go for it. Reach for those heels. Lift your chest as high as you can. Head back. Squeeze your butt. Press your toenails into the mat. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Inhale, come forward. Take a little break. We're going to do one more in that region. That's a version of camel pose, okay? Ustrasana. Now we're going to do a deeper version, a more advanced version. Remember, you don't have to do the advanced versions. You can always do the beginner version, work on the intermediate version. If you want to do the advanced version with me, you can. So remember, we're going to start by pushing those hips forward, lifting the chest up, squeezing the butt. Hands on the back, hands for the heels, or go ahead and grab your calves. Lift those hips. Lift the heart, head back. Squeeze your butt. Press your toenails into the mat. 3 breaths. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Inhale, come up. Now let's rest in pose of the child because that was intense. For back bends, I like to do my pose of the child with my legs together so that I get a little bit more rounding in the back. So you can do it whichever way feels good for you. And then we're just going to round the back over the legs, bringing the head to the mat, and we're going to bring the arms back, letting those shoulders round over the knees. 3 breaths here. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Inhaling, come all the way up. Okay, so we're going to do another back bend on our knee. This is a more advanced version than Ustrasana. Again, you can do Ustrasana. So we're doing a lot of back bends today. After class, make sure you drink a lot of water. If your back is sore, use some Tiger Balm or any type of balm that you can put on your back, because there's so many little tiny muscles around the spine. So pulling one tiny muscle can be a little bit painful. I pulled a tiny muscle in my rib and I couldn't breathe for like 2 weeks. So just remember, we want to be firm, but we want to be gentle. And there is a risk for a little bit of strained or sore muscles, especially when you're moving your body in a way that you don't normally move it every day. Okay, so let's inhale, come on up. Hands to the lower back. Hands on the heels, hands on the calves, whichever pose you want to take. Now in this pose, this is called Laghu Virdrasana pose. So we're going to grab the calves. Now this takes a lot of strength. Push your hips forward, lift your chest, head goes back. Slowly keeping the arms straight, lower down. 3 breaths. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Press those toenails into the mat. And 3. Inhale, try to lift up, squeeze that butt. Exhale, pose of the child. Great job, everybody. And rest your head down on the mat. 3 slow, deep breaths. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Inhale, come up. So for those of you who are not advanced, I suggest you use a wall here. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of strength to balance in this pose. If you're going to be against the wall, so imagine the basket is the wall right here. You want your toes to be about 6 inches away from the wall, and you're going to reach back and try to touch the wall with your hands. If you're a little bit more proficient at back bends, or you don't have a wall, you're just going to reach back with your arms. And reaching back with the arms adds a lot of weight to the back bend on your knees, so it's a lot more challenging, and it also creates a lot more strength in the quadriceps. So as you push your hips forward, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, just reach back for that wall. 3 breaths here. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, come up. That can be intense. Knees together. Rest your forehead down on the mat. Hold here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Good. This is going to be the last back bend on our knees that we're going to do before we move into back bends on our belly. So come on up to the knees, spread the knees. You can reach the arms overhead. You can bring your hands to the wall. If you're a little bit bendy and you feel comfortable with your hands on the wall, try walking your hands all the way down the wall as much as you can, and then straightening your arms to open those hips. If you want to try with me, we're going to do a version of Kapotasana, King Pigeon pose. So let's inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, hips forward, reach back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, reach back. Keep going until you bring your hands all the way to the floor. Hold for 3 breaths. Breathing for 1. Walk them in if you can. 2 and 3. Inhale, come up. Exhale, rest in pose of the child. That's really intense on the back and it feels really good. Whew, let's rest breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Good. Inhale, come up. Let's exhale, come into plank position. Then inhale, lift, exhale, lower, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here. Pump those heels. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. Breathing for 3. Look forward and walk through to a seated position. Nope, I lied. Come all the way down to your belly. All right, so we're gonna do some gentle back bends on our belly. We've already done cobra and upward facing dog. So we're gonna be doing some deeper things that help strengthen the back, not just create flexibility. The first poses we're gonna do locust, which is locust A and B. So let's reach the arms back. We're gonna come all the way down so your fingernails are on the mat. Your legs are together so your feet are touching. And you're gonna lift everything you can up off the mat for 3 breaths. So lift the chest, lift the legs, look up. Breathing for 1, squeeze your butt. 2, and 3. Slowly lower, turn your head to one side and rest. After about 3 breaths resting, we're going to do a similar to cobra, but the locust pose, you're lifting your legs. So your thumbs come underneath your ribs. You bring your legs together. Now lift your chest and see if you can lift your hands. That's how little pressure you want to use in your hands. Lift your legs, squeeze your elbows, look up, 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Turn your head to one side, release your arms, and rest. Good. Let's come on up to Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose is elbows underneath the shoulders, spread your fingertips wide. It's kind of, for me, it's like a resting back bend pose. So from here, we're going to be moving into frog pose, or what we call Bekasana. So you're going to take your left arm so that your forearm is parallel to the front edge of your mat. And your left elbow should be right underneath your left shoulder, and bend your right knee. Take your right hand, grab your foot. Now what you want to do is lift your elbow up to the sky and try to turn your hand so the heel of your palm is on your toes. And press down with the elbow pointing up to the sky. And then turn forward, look up, 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Release. Notice how that really stretches open your shoulder. Like I said, shoulders and hips are like the most integral part of your back bend besides the spine. Let's switch sides, bringing that right forearm underneath the shoulder. Forearm is parallel to the front of your mat. Bend your left leg. Take your left hand, pull that foot, the heel towards your butt. Take your left elbow up, press your heel of your palm into your toes, look up, 3 more breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Exhale and release. Turn your head to one side. You can relax your arms down, 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, come on up. So we did the right side and the left side. We're going to try to do both sides. This is a really big shoulder opener and great back bend for the upper back. So let's take the right hand, turn so the heel of your palm is on your toes, your right elbow is pointing up. Come on down, take the other foot into the left hand, heel of the palm is on the toes. As you press down into the feet, lift the chest, 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Exhale, release. Let's press it back into pose of the child. The back needs a little bit of a release. So knees together, head to the mat, and reach your arms back, rounding your shoulders over your knees for 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Inhale, come up, and let's go back down to the belly for the next pose. A lot of beginners can do this pose really well. This pose is really hard for me, so I'm going to start with the beginner version, and then we'll do 2 advanced versions after that. And in this beginner version, we can move into the advanced version as we are in the pose. So you're going to reach back and grab your ankles with both hands. So you're not really trying to grab the foot. You want to grab right, like almost to the shin. All right. And then the beginner version, people do this with the legs spread. An intermediate version would be with toes together. And an advanced version would be the whole arch of the foot together. So try your best. But if you're spreading your legs wide, you want to try to work your toes together. That's also going to help create strength in the lower back so you don't overstretch. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the feet together if you can. Look up, 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good. Let's press it back into pose of the child. Resting here for 3 breaths. Good. Now we're going to try an advanced version. So we're going to start on our side since a lot of you are new and we don't want to scare you by rolling into it. So we're just going to roll onto our side slightly. I have my microphone in my pocket. So you're going to grab, this is really hard. I usually do this from the beginning. So what you want to do is you're grabbing your feet and then roll over to your right side. Roll over to the right side, holding the feet, head back, bring the feet together. This is Parsvadhanurasana, side bow pose. Breathing for 1. Notice how the stretch in your left shoulder is like so intense. 2, and 3. Inhale, come to center. Try the other side. Head back, breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, come to center, release, exhale, press it back into pose of the child. Resting here for 3 slow, deep breaths. Good job, everybody. Okay, let's inhale, bring the legs around, and we're going to work on some bridges, some upward facing bows. Then we're going to come up to a standing pose and see if we can work on some drop backs. Now that your body's like nice and warm, your spine is like a noodle. All right, so let's straighten the legs, roll on down to your back. Bend your knees, spreading your feet about hip width apart, even a little bit wider. And if you've taken my classes before, we always do bridges at the end of class. So bring your arms down by your sides. Inhale, lift those hips up off the mat, squeeze your butt, interlace your fingers, and walk your shoulder blades together. Now, notice if your knees are splaying out. Round down through the arches of the feet without really just squeezing the knees together. Lift those hips, lift the chin. 3 slow, deep breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Lower down slowly. We've done a lot of back bend, so we're going to give ourselves a massage. We're going to do 3 bridges, then we'll do 3 back bends, and then we'll work on 3 drop backs. All right, so let's bring the feet down to the mat. Bring the arms down by the sides. Inhale, lift the hips up off the mat. Interlace your fingers underneath your body. Lift your chin. Press down through the arches of your feet, hips as high as you can. Remember that stretch in the hip flexors. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Good job, everybody. Slowly lower down. Remember, these are just the warm-ups for the full back bends. Last one. Inhale, lift it up. Interlace your fingers. Walk your shoulder blades together. 3 slow, deep breaths. Breathing for 1. Breathing for 2. And 3. Exhale, lower down. Great job, everybody. So now we are going to work on back bends. If you've never done a back bend before, I encourage you just to try. Even if you can't get yourself up off the ground, you really want to, if you're here taking this class, this is something you definitely want to work up to if you're not familiar with it. So we're going to take our hands, place them by the shoulders. Now, if you're doing full back bend with me, try your best. We're going to keep the hands and feet as flat as we can. On the inhale, like a balloon rising from the ground, lift yourself all the way up, straightening your arms, looking at your mat with your eyes, breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, come to the crown of your head. Walk your hands towards your feet. Inhale, lift it up again. 3 more breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, head down. Walk it in again. Last one. Lift up. 3 breaths. Breathing for 1, 2, and 3. Exhale, slowly lower down. Good job, everybody. Hug those knees into the chest. Cross one ankle over the other and slowly roll up to a seated position. And from here, we're just going to come to our feet and stand up. Now we're working on drop backs. Drop backs are when you stand up and from a standing position, you drop your hands to the floor and then you try to stand back up. I've been practicing these intensely all week and now I'm really sore. So if I fall, don't laugh at me. All right, so if you are not really that comfortable with drop backs, go ahead to a wall. If you are against the wall, you want to walk your feet 3.5 steps away from the wall. So that would be 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, and then bring your feet 3.5 feet away from the wall, feet wider than hip width, and you will reach back and try to touch the wall. If you're going to do drop backs with me or attempt drop backs and you've never done drop backs before, I also suggest maybe putting a small pillow where your head might land because I've had students work on them on their own, just throw themselves back there, boom, slam their heads right on the hard floor. So if you want to try it, also when I go to India, we have these huge pads. They look like they came off of a boat or something. And they say property of the Kepatabi Joyce Ashtanga Yoga Institute. And our teacher gives them to people to practice their drop back so that they can save their head. So if you need a pillow or something soft on the ground, go ahead. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale. I usually take several breaths on my way down, so it's not just an inhale and exhale. And make sure your feet are nice and wide. So your feet should be as wide as your mat, hips go forward. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hips forward. Keep reaching back. Keep reaching back. Once you can see the mat, see if you can bend your knees slowly and put your hands down on the mat. If you can't, come back up to a standing position. And every time you do it, you're going to try to get your hands a little bit closer to the mat. If you are against the wall, walk your hands as close to the floor as you can, and then push yourself up off the wall. I'll demonstrate on the wall real fast. If you can see me, you're going to inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the wall. Walk it back and down as far as you can. Hold for 3 breaths. And then inhale, come up. If you're doing drop backs with me or you've already started your drop backs, good job. Inhale, hands up. Exhale. And then if you can, inhale, stand back up. Standing back up usually takes assistance. I usually used to have a teacher that would help me pull my hips back up. Sometimes if I'm having a hard time, then I call my husband and Chuck will come help me. So let's try that 2 more times, against the wall or full drop back. Sometimes it's harder to get up than others. And sometimes I fall on my knees. All right, 3rd one. And then after that, we'll do a juicy forward fold. Oh, not today. All right, wherever you are, come down to the mat, come to a seated position, and we're going to take a deep forward fold to really decompress the back. Grab those get the peace fingers around the big toes or grab the outsides of your feet, whatever it is. You can bring your hands underneath your knees. Wherever you are, go ahead and take a forward fold. We'll hold here for 10 breaths. As you exhale, try to deepen the pose, softening those tight muscles. Good. Inhaling, come up, straight legs. Exhaling, slowly roll on down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side. We're going to do some gentle twists. Take your arms up over your head in a circle and let your knees fall to the right side as you turn your head and look to your left side. Inhale, slowly come up with the knees. Exhale, let your knees fall to the left side as you look to your right side. And then inhale, bring the knees into center and rock from side to side. Let's bring the feet down to the mat and bring the bottoms of the feet together, opening the hips. Now this causes a gentle, natural back bend. Feel that spine curve up off the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades under. Bring your hands to your inner thighs. A gentle but firm pressure into those legs to open the hips. Good, and let's straighten the legs. Now, if your back is sore, you may want to put a pillow underneath your back. If not, just lay flat here. Turn your palms up. Close your eyes and take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more slow, deep breath. Exhale through the mouth like your body is deflating down into the earth. Let your mind be clear. Let your body be soft. And lay here in appreciation of all the good things that you have in life. Not everything in life is good, but there are a lot of good things. And if we focus on the good things in life, more good things appear. And start to deepen your breath, filling the whole body with air so it feels. And then stretch your arms over your head like it's your first morning stretch. And gently hug your knees into your chest. We're going to spend a little extra time here, so just massage that lower back into the mat. I know it might be a little bit sore. Grab the arches of your feet. Let's take a happy baby pose. And hug the knees into the chest. Cross one ankle over the other and roll yourself up to a seated position. So back bends are important, but they're intense. And that's why a lot of teachers don't practice them very often or as at this intensity very often, or teach it because it does take a lot of knowledge to be able to teach back bends properly. But they are super important no matter what level of yoga that you're at. One thing that back bends do is also they pump a lot of fluids in and out of the spinal column, which can activate the lower lobe. So if later on down the road, if today or tomorrow, you might be feeling a little bit moody, maybe a little sad, maybe I've had some feelings of anger after doing tons of back bends and for no particular reason, like why am I angry? So if those feelings occur, just know it's just the body doing its thing. Drink a lot of water. Make sure that you're hydrated today. Be easy on yourself for the rest of the day. Take rest if you can, and practice this class again as often as you feel comfortable for you. I thank you for joining me today. May you go with peace. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I hope to see you again very soon. Also, if you want to do a yoga teacher training, I will be teaching my yoga teacher training. I'll be teaching a virtual one starting in November, and I will be teaching a in-person yoga teacher training starting in 2021, late spring, early summer. All right, have a wonderful day, everybody. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.